Hello everybody, how are you? Another sunny day here in Southern California, and this video is going to talk about a town in Southern California. It's a third of several videos we're going to do on Signal Hill. And every town has a part of the city that is outstanding in several ways, and Signal Hill is certainly that for the area of Long Beach, California, which, if you're not familiar, is south of LA, a few miles. Now, Signal Hill has a distinctive history, but this video is going to be about the present. And we're going to talk about some of the fun things that you and your family can do in Signal Hill when you're visiting, or maybe you're even considering moving there, which would be a great move because everybody that lives there loves it. Now, there's maybe a couple here and there that don't, and I don't necessarily know these things that I'm talking to you about. I learned the things to do, the fun things to do in town. I learned it from somebody that was behind me at the grocery store. I was buying some grapefruit, some oranges, some bananas, and granola bars. And the lady behind me commented that she thought I was kind of a fruit because of all the fruit I was buying. I said, well, I just like to stay healthy. And she pointed at the 45 pounds of beef in her cart, and she said, real men eat beef. And I didn't want to get into it because, it's just my experience has been those conversations never end up well. But I de-escalated it. I got on her good side, and she told me all of the cool things to do in Signal Hill once I mentioned to her the title of this video. So if you know that it's wrong, or if there's more information that you have, hey, help us out. Get on the Twitter machine, leave a comment here on the YouTuber, and help the community, and we'll all learn together. So the first thing that is interesting about Signal Hill that you and your family might want to participate in is the Signal Hill Flag School. Now, of course, Signal Hill, the entire nature of the town was based on signaling ships about dangers and different information back when the area was being explored, predominantly by Spanish explorers. But today you can learn those same signals that brought those ships to safety, that helped them with their passage through the area. You can go to Signal Hill School. Now, what's different about the signals, the flag signals that you'll learn, it's different than the sailing flag signals of today that are pretty much standard throughout the world. You're going to learn the ones of the 1700s and the 1800s, where people used to stand on Signal Hill and signal the ships. Now, it wasn't the only method they used, but so you should have an interest in history. You might have an interest in sailing, perhaps in flags themselves, but that is the first of the activities on this video that you may want to consider when you're in Signal Hill. Now, secondly, this one's kind of fun. It's the Signal Hill Race Rally, and it's really only miniature MG cars, MG convertibles. So the MG is a classic two-seater convertible that you may have seen, you may have grown up around, you may have had one. Well, the Signal Hill Race Rally is the miniature version of these cars. So that means that you really can't be much over 5'5", 5'4" to get in one of these because they're smaller. And they're not miniature like the size of a Hot Wheels. I'm just saying they're smaller, they're smaller than a standard car. And so if you're a 6-footer or above, you might be able to fit in one, and I know people have done it, but it gets a little uncomfortable, and you gotta breathe in the whole time. You can't really, you're driving around like this, you're like, oh, I can't breathe. Ugh. Whereas if you're 5'4", 5'3", you're breathing deep, you get the full range of your athletic ability. And that's a lot of fun because the cars go really fast, and they go really fast for their size, and they handle really well. So I think you get a lot of fun out of that. Now, third, we'll do 5 today. We got more on the list, but we'll do 5 in this video. The third one, which is really fun, is the Signal Hill Cloud Club. Now, what they do, I know, I'm like, what? But yeah, they identify clouds in the area, and they tie it to the different environmental, how the clouds are formed based on the environment of the Signal Hill area. And this is what's so interesting about it. It's not just they go out and look up at the sky and go, oh, there's a cumulonimbus, there's a cirrus, right? Although those are key building blocks of the knowledge, what's really interesting about the Signal Hill Cloud Club is that they'll then study environmental forces in the area. So, for example, factories, manufacturing, the number of cars in Southern California, the ocean temperature, and how those affect the formation and distribution of clouds. So, guys, if you have an interest in science, if you like the sky, if you like clouds, flying, aircraft, any of those related fields, I think you're really going to get a kick out of it. They meet every Saturday, so they're pretty active. Now, there's 275 members. They don't all show up for the monthly meeting, but a high degree do, and the facility is fairly small, so you want to get there early. Tell them that you want to come to the meeting as a visitor. Introduce yourself. Don't be shy, and it might even help to wear a shirt that has blue color with some white patterns on it that perhaps look like clouds, and that just shows that you're not just interested in cloud, you're demonstrating your interest by wearing a cloud-like shirt or other clothing.